We are here at a venue. I think it's called the Congress Center here in Berlin, next to Alexanderplatz, and we've got probably about 350 or so folks attending the conference. And there's 4-track. I think there are three or four tracks each day, so there's a lot of content coming down. Way more than I think anybody could sort of sit through in one day. But some great talks on Casper and validator stuff, all kinds of great stuff happening here. So far it's been a really great conference, meeting a lot of new people for sure. A lot of really deep interest in the blockchain space here in Berlin. So ETH Berlin is happening in just a few days here. So we do have some people that have come in early just for RChain, and then they're going to attend that one as well. There's a few really special updates that I'll wait and get from Meta, but otherwise it's been a fantastic turnout and really enjoying things so far.
And just to add to that, so I just put in the chat, I'm not able to live stream because the internet connection here at the hotel, but I'm recording this room and it will be cut and uploaded right after this meeting ends.
I was just hoping that by next year we'll be live streaming on mainnet.
Ha ha ha. That's a wonderful goal. Well, I'm sorry about the ambient noise. I'm walking over to the venue right now, and the bandwidth out here on Alexanderplatz is a lot better than the bandwidth in the hotel. So I decided to take a walk back over to the venue. As Kenny said, it's been a very exciting conference. At the opening, we announced officially the RChain Europe, the German Genossenschaft. Ayla was on stage, shared the stage with me and Steve Ross Talbot. And then we had an update on the state of the chain from Mike and Nash. And then we did the RSong demo. So everyone could, who had Android phones or who was whitelisted on iOS, was able to listen to immersive audio content served out from the chain. And then we had the launch of the mainnet. I'm sorry, a testnet. So it was a day of incredible excitement. And I have to say that the work on the RChain demo has been incredibly instructive. It also it just showed some of the dedication. In the last 36 hours, Kent and Michael Birch and others, Mateusz and many other very, very smart engineers were able to find and fix 5 non-deterministic bugs. So I mean, it's kudos to them because they're just utter geniuses when it comes to engineering. But also, I think it's starting to sink into the team why behavioral types are a real thing and why we really need them. Because when you're faced with these non-deterministic bugs, it can take hours or days, and in the case of one of the bugs, we were tracking even weeks just to get a repro case with enough information to go after solving the problem. So,
Greg, could you explain a little bit how behavioral types will enable that?
Yes. So behavioral types enable the compiler, the type checker, to check when there are race conditions. So if you read the DAO bug paper that we published, one of the things we showed was that when you rewrite the buggy DAO contract into Rolang, the bug manifests as a race condition, and the type associated with that contract actually catches the race condition. So the type says these 2 operations need to be serialized, and the contract allows them to happen in any order, and that's a problem. And so this is exactly the kind of thing that the team has been facing in some of these non-deterministic bugs, where the spec says there's a particular order that has to happen, and the code, because it's multi-threaded or for other reasons, allows for a difference in order, and that's a violation of the spec. In this case, the spec is represented by the type, and so it would be a violation of the type, which means the compiler would catch it, and people wouldn't even be allowed to check in the code because it just doesn't compile. We don't check in code that doesn't compile. So it gives you a sense of how behavioral types address this particular problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. So I think with that, let me just hand it over to Meta. And I also just want to say that we're all, a lot of us would like to participate in the Adrian Ballou concert. So I think since so much of the community is here at the conference, let's keep tonight's community hangout short and sweet. Over to you, Meta.
I'm afraid there's a lot of noise because I'm walking back to the conference center, so I hope I'm coming through okay. Can you all hear me all right?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic. So we launched the testnet today, so very, very exciting milestone. We had, I want to say 35 validators there in the front row signing the Genesis block. And
Woo!
we collected a majority of the needed signatures. I think we had about 33 in the end. And the Genesis block launched when the time allotted expired. So it went very, very smoothly. The validators worked very hard. We hit a few bumps along the way, I'm not going to lie. But in the end, they really stuck through it and persisted. And, you know, they were just terrific to work with. So big shout out to all of the testnet validators for really hanging in there with us and working with us to get the network launched. So it's a wonderful milestone. And yeah, it went off very, very smoothly. So I'm very, very pleased to announce that. And tomorrow we'll be demonstrating the performance test. We also had the RSong demo that also went very, very well. And the team is now looking forward to Node 7 and Node 8 and really getting to feature complete between now and the end of the year with a strong focus and emphasis on both getting the essential features into Mercury, but also really looking at how we can make sure the system is rock solid, stable, and performant and reliable. So, really important things that we're looking at. So very exciting. I don't have another status update for you all simply because the team's really been focused on just getting to this milestone. We've been doing a lot of work around performance testing, hardening, performance measurement, and fine-tuning the system. So in preparation for both the testnet launch and the performance test tomorrow. But I'm open to taking questions if there's any questions from the community.
I would just add something, Meta. I mean, for those interested in the footage of the event itself, PyroFX did an excellent job by hiring Stream Park. I just talked to one of the organizers there, and we will be getting the footage up as soon as humanly possible. I would like to say within 72 hours you'll be getting the first few days up. So I'm just literally waiting for their cuts, and then the community will have all that footage. So there's too much to talk about, I would say, right, Meta, in terms of just what we went through in the last 3 days.
Yeah, I would say that's very accurate. So I can speak a little bit about that. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I just wanted to say that one thing that came out of the private dev intensive sessions on the 3rd and the 4th was a pretty good understanding of the Venus roadmap, and I was really pleased by the engagement and the discussion there. It's just the kind of engineering discussion that gets me excited. I guess that's why I'm a geek. But I thought that the team just really showed its professionalism and insight and clear dedication to making sure that this is, one of the highest quality products that we've ever seen as an engineering offering.
Yeah, I think that's right. One of the things I'd like to add is that we did spend a good 2 days intensive talking about the Venus roadmap. We started off the discussion with talking about Node 7 and 8 to help gain clarity on what we're going to build, detailed discussions about what's included in the releases, if there were any questions or clarifications on the feature set for the releases. So we had a very productive 2 days. And the team actually collaborated on the last half of the second day, about what can be done to improve performance and fine-tune the system. So very, very productive 2 days. Are there any other questions that I can field?
I don't have any. Does anyone else? All right. So moving on is, do we want an update from Pythia?
Simple update. We're here in Berlin, Evan, Morris, and I. Trying to think if there's anything new and notable. A few more deals came through and are working their way through the pipeline of new companies. We've probably met 4 new companies here. We brought InstaSupply out from the UK, and they've been really impressed with everything that they've seen. And Greg, they're a supply chain company, so they're pretty pumped with all you said. Deutsche Telekom will be here tomorrow to talk about some of the things they're doing. It won't be on the stage, but sharing with us the networks that they're building that are blockchain sensitive and potential roles for RChain. So that's it. I will also keep it short and sweet.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Sorry about the ambient noise here. I'm at the convention center. Is there someone on for Reflective?
Not that I see.
Okay. All right. Well, it's okay. I don't think we. I think the main updates will be forthcoming, and I think a lot of the community is here in Berlin anyway, so they can kind of see what's going on for themselves and talk to the Reflective guys and gals. Okay. Is there anything else we really want to hit here today, or can we yield back the time so that we can get back to the conference?
Greg, I want to say very, very briefly that we have an exciting project by a new contributor, CBC Casper. We've noticed some issues in our voting systems, and we're starting the mathematical analysis of how voting systems should work and what we need to avoid gaming.
Cool. That sounds really fun. Awesome. All right. Well, on that note, looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Just so that people know, I am going to be on vacation. So next week, I will make a very quiet and brief appearance on the community hangout, and the week after, I will make a quiet and brief appearance on the community hangout. But largely, I am devoting my time to recharging the batteries because it's been a long, tough slog getting to this point. Invigorating and a lot of fun, but it really has. I really am at a point where I need to unplug and recharge my batteries a bit so that I can deliver in the upcoming months for mainnet.
Thank you, Greg, for taking care of yourself.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye, Greg.